Have you ever had one of those moments when everything seems ordinary, yet something inside you stirs, reminding you that God's presence is nearer than you think? Life often unfolds in unexpected ways, and it's in these moments that we can discover the power and love of God working in places we never imagined. Whether it's a whispered prayer answered in a quiet corner or a divine encounter in the midst of your daily routine, God's presence is waiting to be discovered in the most surprising places. One powerful example of God's unexpected presence comes from the life of Moses. Moses was going about his usual work as a shepherd when something extraordinary happened. Burning bush caught his attention. At first, it seemed like a normal bush on fire, but then God spoke to him from the flames, calling him to deliver his people from Egypt. What was once a simple moment of shepherding turned into a life-altering encounter with the divine. God's presence didn't come in the way Moses expected, but through a humble bush, he revealed his powerful plan. Like Moses, many times we find that God's presence is revealed to us in the most unexpected of places. The same is true for the Apostle Paul, who, on the road to Damascus, was blinded by a bright light and heard the voice of Jesus asking, "Saul, Saul, why are you persecuting me?" Paul's life was dramatically changed in that very moment, transforming from a persecutor of Christians to one of the most influential apostles in history. What seemed like a random journey turned into a divine encounter that redirected Paul's life completely. In the same way, God is often at work in our lives, leading us toward purpose and transformation in places and moments we least expect. Real-life stories are full of similar, unexpected encounters with God's presence. I recall the story of a woman named Sarah who was going through a tough time after losing her job. One morning, she decided to go for a walk in the park to clear her mind. She sat on a bench, feeling defeated and hopeless, when an elderly woman approached her. The woman sat down beside her, shared a few words of encouragement, and prayed with Sarah right there on the park bench. It was a simple moment, but it left Sarah feeling an overwhelming sense of peace and hope. God had shown up, not in a church or a sermon, but in the unexpected, through a stranger's kindness in another story. A man named John had been struggling with addiction for years. After years of trying to break free on his own, he decided to attend a small community group meeting, more out of curiosity than anything else. During the meeting, the leader spoke about God's unconditional love and how no one is beyond redemption. As John sat in the back of the room, he felt an overwhelming sense of God's presence and realized that he had never truly surrendered his life to God. That night, John made a decision to follow Christ, and his life was forever changed. This transformation didn't happen at an altar call or a grand event, but in a small, quiet meeting with ordinary people. The Bible is filled with stories where God's presence was revealed in unexpected ways, from the shepherds hearing the angels' message of Jesus' birth in a field to the miracle of Jesus turning water into wine at a wedding feast. In each of these instances, God used what seemed like mundane moments to reveal His glory and power. He didn't wait for the perfect, holy circumstances. He entered into the everyday to bring about something extraordinary. It's a reminder to us that God's presence is not confined to grand or sacred spaces. He is right in the middle of our daily lives, ready to reveal His love, power, and grace when we least expect it. As you walk through your own life, remember that God's presence is always near, waiting to be discovered in the most surprising ways. Whether it's in a difficult conversation, a random act of kindness, or a moment of deep reflection, He is always with you. Just as Moses, Paul, and countless others encountered God in the ordinary, so can you. Trust that the presence of God is not bound by time or place. He's moving in the most unexpected places, ready to change your life. Keep your heart open, for you never know when the next moment might be the one where God's love and power meet you right where you are.